Hello from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. Heather and I are here at Mitchell Beach, Fish Hall Park. And this beach is really cool at low tide. I actually made a clip in the parking lot, but I didn't have my microphone on, so that was brilliant. And while we were at the parking lot, we found a pileated woodpecker. I don't think either one of us got a very good picture of her, but maybe Heather did. I haven't looked at hers. Okay, now we're back in the parking lot, and here's a little bit of video of the pileated woodpecker there in the tree, and you can see why I thought we might not have been able to get a good photograph of her up in the tree, because for the most part she was blocked. Heather was on the other side of the tree, and this is the photograph that she was able to get of this female pileated woodpecker. You can tell that she's not a male because the stripe by her chin is black, and on the males it's red. And this is my shot from the other side of the tree, and it was a lot backlit, so I had to really increase shadows. And this is my favorite shot of our entire Hilton Head, South Carolina trip, and I made it with the 500 f4 in the parking lot of Fish Hall Beach Park of Heather. Almost looks like it was made in a portrait studio, but this was in the parking lot. Now we're down here on the beach, and we've been making photographs of shorebirds. I've got, Heather's using my 200 to 500. I don't know if you can see her over there, but she's using my 200 to 500 and her Z50, and I've got my D500 on the 500 f4 with no teleconverter, and I have my Z50 down there with the kit lens, and we've been photographing shorebirds here. I think that's what Heather is still doing, but right now I'm going to do a couple of landscape photos of this. See how cool the sand looks. So I'm going to see about doing some landscape photography with this awesome looking sand. We'll start out with a few of my shorebird photographs, and this is a willet, which I was the only one of us to get a photograph of a willet, so I'm going to share a couple with you. Here's another photograph of the willet, and it's one of the larger sandpipers that we photographed on that day. Cute bird. The smallest bird we photographed that day was this juvenile piping plover. It's about the size of a sparrow and just amazingly cute, maybe as much as a titmouse. The most common bird there on the beach that day was this non-breeding sanderling. We saw several of these, and each of us, Heather and I, have shared a number of pictures of them. Here's my first landscape photography type picture, and this is just kind of trying to get some details of that interesting sand at low tide there on Mitchell Beach. Also, we are right by the airport here, and so jets flying right over us. Well, tell me what you've been doing, Heather.
Shooting wildlife with a 200 to 500. I've got a few good ones. I might have one of the pileated in the parking lot, and then I've got some shorebirds out here that I don't necessarily know the names of right now, but I'll be sure to look those up.
We'll have to Google them.
Yeah.
So we can tell everybody what they are.
Yeah.
Hey, Cuban Rum, who says I know all the names of the birds. If we don't know them, we Google them.
Yeah.
But a lot of them we know.
Yeah.
Here's Heather's photographs, and the first one is one that I did not get a picture of. This bird is called a marbled godwit, Godwit, and it's pretty large compared to a lot of the other birds we saw there at Fish Hall Beach Park. And then here are three photographs of the sanderling non-breeding plumage that Heather got. I really love that sand. And I like the water and the blue reflections. The water is reflecting the blue sky of these shots. And then this one, I love. This almost looks like a landscape photo that just happens to have a bird on it. I love all those black seashells. Here is Heather's photograph of the tiny and uber cute juvenile piping plover. They are just amazingly cute little tiny birds. And Heather was the only one to get a photograph of this bird. It's called a dunlin. And I love, love, love this photograph. It looks like a landscape photo with a bird walking through it. And this next one, this is a ring-billed gull We get these back home in Chattanooga as well, and I really love their eyes, and they have a red circle around the outside of their eye. I walked all the way out here and was doing wildlife, and then I just stopped. And look, I've got my backpack hanging on my tripod, and I've shut down operations with the wildlife camera, and now I'm doing way down here. You can see way down by the beach. I've been doing something that I never do, and that is focus stacking, but I'm trying to get the detail of the beach in the foreground and all the way to the distance. I'm trying to get all of that in focus. So I've been doing about 4 shots worth of focus stacking, focusing directly in front of the camera, 16 millimeters, and then maybe 1/3 of the way into the frame, 2/3 of the way into the frame. And I've even done, because these clouds are kind of interesting, and I've even focused on the clouds. This is that 4-shot focus stack that I made, trying to get the sand right by the camera in focus, and the sand going all the way out to the horizon, and the clouds all in focus. And I guess I was trying to channel my inner Thomas Heaton, because I decided to do a square crop on this one. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I just can't get enough of these Sandlings in non-breeding plumage. They've got more color to them when they're in breeding plumage. And here's another attempt at landscape photography. I brightened up the highlights and brought down the shadows to get a lot more contrast in this sand. And this is as the sand is leading into a tidal pool, which I do a lot of photographs of a little bit later in the video. And yes, there's another Sandling photo. If you look close in this photo, you can see some sand flying in the air where it is foraging for food. Heather's wandered way down there, and we were both kind of over there a moment ago. I started kind of going to be closer to her, and then I found this spot right here. I think all those little black things are shells, and I made a shot of this, actually a few different shots. The light keeps changing as all these clouds roll through, and then I've also, with my wildlife camera, you know, you want your sun at your back for the wildlife camera, so whenever anything wanders over this way, I switch and make some bird photos of these shorebirds that are wandering around. Here's my last attempt at landscape photography there on the beach, and I really like this one. It's at the edge of the tidal pool, the other side from the last shot, and you can see the colors of the sky and all the little tiny black shells and the detail of the beach as it fades out of focus in the background. Now this is a different type of gull. This is a herring gull. They have a little bit of red on the ring around their gull, unlike the ring-billed gull, and I think they're a little bit bigger too. This was about to land in the tidal pool. And here's that gull as it's kind of strolling along the beach. And, you know, I've got this cropped to present the entire scene, but if you look at it at 100%, and if you're watching this at 1080p, this is a 100% crop of that same photo. There's a ton of detail in that bird, even though it's relatively small in the frame. Now this is a ring-billed gull, and it's landing in that same tidal pool. They're a little bit smaller, and they have, I think, prettier eyes than the other gull. And here it is, one more of the super cute Sandlings. I like this shot because you can see a lot of sky reflected in the water there on the beach. We are exhausted. It has been, I mean, you know, this trip to Hilton Head is just a couple of days, but we are trying to go pretty much wide open every single second doing something. And are you tired?
Yeah.
You look tired. 2 days in a row we've gotten up at 5:15 in the morning, which is not our normal time. And Heather doesn't, you know, she works from home, so she doesn't do a lot of walking at all. I work a lot. I mean, I walk a lot at work, but not carrying, you know, 10 pounds of camera gear, or 15 or 20 or however much. But anyway, it was fun here at Mitchell Beach. What's the name of this park?
Fish Hall Beach.
Fish Hall Beach Park, which is part of Mitchell Beach. There's a lot of nomenclature that we don't know exactly, but we had a good time. We hope you enjoyed the pictures of birds, and maybe some of my landscape stuff will be okay. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the bell. send us a pillow so we can take a nap. And we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.